person could take this book and they could think about who do I know in my own world that I'd like to invite and share the story with, and people could begin to gradually think about, well, maybe we're the people. Maybe this is a group of people that I want to be my beloved community.
Yeah, and I think also a lot of people would be frightened to think if they had somebody like that they had to deal with. But if they, I'm just saying, I know people get intimidated in situations like that, and they would help, but they're stymied by their own uneasiness and even fear. That seeing something like that, reading something like that, alerts your consciousness.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the point that comes to me over and over again is that I don't have to do it by myself.
Right.
I am one of a group, and there are things that I can do, and there are things other people in the group can do, but it doesn't just depend on me. That's where it would be overwhelming.
Yeah.
But to be part of a community that was not only a community for that needy person, but was a community in and of itself.
That's one.
You create a new family, so to speak.
Well, and I think part of the process also is simply talking about it, because what happens is in a family we don't talk about these problems.
That's right.
And so in the larger community, that's where somebody like you comes in, who makes us aware of people and can provide, a starting point for conversation, so that we do talk about it. That there are.
As people got to know Mr. Welcome, I could see them in their own minds go from, this is somebody that I don't understand, to this is somebody that I'm beginning to understand, to this is somebody I'm beginning to admire. And it's when people can move from maybe fear, as you talked about,
Yeah.
to I don't understand, which is a softer emotion, to I'm beginning to understand, which is the pathway, and then to admire. And my suspicion is that there are an awful lot of people that never have the chance to be admired, just as people.
Yeah.
Because, and the other thing, when you was thinking about, I don't know if this is true or not, but I have a feeling that even in congregations, there are people that stand next to each other and stand up and down throughout a service year after year. And for some strange reason, there's not a very powerful way for people to find a way to come together and sort of solve each other, to help each other. And so it's almost like one person said that this story was provocation rather than, it was more provocative than pedantic. And that has struck me as being useful. That this.
Well, it's not pedantic at all.
Another thing about Mr. Welcome is he rose to
name too.
Right. Yeah. He rose to his finest hour in the 8th decade of his life.
Yeah.
Now that gives like middle-aged guys like me that are going through midlife crisis.
Yeah.
That gives us a lot of hope.
Yeah.
The good stuff might still be out there somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and I mean, again, another sort of tough point, because when you met him, he was how old?
he was 79.
I mean, that's pretty up there.
Mm-hmm.
And so to step in at this point,
Mm-hmm.
in some ways, society kind of writes you off at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Come in if you're 49,
Mm-hmm.
59,
Mm-hmm.
79,
Mm-hmm.
and yet what you're saying is that he had his best years
Mm-hmm.
following that.
I think it's incredible how he insisted on communicating, being able to communicate, and he knew he had somebody that was listening. And he figured out, you all figured it out together.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think his name is the most ironic name.
It's got to be a terrific name.
You want to hear some more ironic things? Guess when he was born.
July the 4th.
4th of
Yes.
July. I mean, what kind of
Guess when he died.
4th of July?
Martin Luther King Sunday.